Another your turn assignment was to speakers, for example. Let's say I want to change Mr. White to Mr. Glum. What I would do is scroll down, hit on the Mr. White, hit the F2 option. Here I would change it to a Mr. Glum. And here, as you can see, I'm now Mr. Glum. I want to change Mr. Black into Mr. White. So I'm going to hit F2. And I'm going to rename, as it's highlighted, to Mr. White. No, let's say Mr. Pink. Since we already have a Mr. White. I'm going to OK it. And as you can see, it changed to Mr. White. Mr. Pink. Now I want to change Mr. Robertson to Mrs. Robertson. So, same thing, highlight, F2, M, Miss, sorry I'm doing one hand, Robinson, for example. And now Mr. Robinson is now Mrs. Robinson. This is another one of the U-turn practices under the speaker options. Dictionary is used to define words into your main dictionary to resolve conflicts, for example. In this case, they want us to identify its to its with the global option. We can actually choose here with the apostrophe, but I'm not going to do that in this case because I want to show you 3 times. I'll do it on the last one. If I were to change this to its every time I add the with the asterisk, for example, it would become its. If I write its without the asterisk, it will not add it then, so I will be clear of conflicts. I do got to make sure that I'm in special entries main dictionary. So once again, I would right click the global, and here I can identify this stroke as a with apostrophe S if I want to separate it from the without the apostrophe. Each time I would highlight it. Here I would identify it as the its. So now when I type it with the apostrophe with the asterisk, it would add the apostrophe S. And now it will be identified in that way. If I do not add that apostrophe, it will just be with the S. Also, red is could be a stop stroke for the word read, for example. Also, global, special entries, main dictionary. I could change red to, in this case, read, and it will change it. But I do not really want to do that because I'm not advanced enough to type the word red now. Now I'm confused. But I just threw that in there. Okay, the speaker box. The speaker box is an option to help you identify when people speak in court. Way you bring up the speaker box is with the F2 option, for example. Bring that up. As you can see there, it has a different people. I want to identify the court in this case. So let's say in this part right here, I want to insert the court. So I would hit the F2 option. I would hit the F2 option. I would highlight the court that I've added in there. Hit OK, and as you can see now, this identifies as the court. I'll do it again. Here on top, the court, F2, bring up the speaker box option. Now we can identify it as the court. And now let's say here as well, F2. F2. The 10 here is the quote. Notice now I can specify. Let's say another person here wanted to speak. F2, and this was, let's say, Mr. Anderson came in. Okay, and now you see how it inserted Mr. Anderson.